All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to take our votes, our 10% of the worthwhile votes for all the nominees when it comes to the categories for the Game Awards. And look, regardless of what you have to say, how you feel about certain categories, certain things that are nominated, we obviously all have our own individual opinions and everything. The Game Awards, to some extent, are a decent deal because not only is it celebrating the developers and the teams that have made these games, it is a chance though for a lot of eyes, new games that they might not even know that exist, or maybe they did hear about them, but then they kind of just fell off because regardless of what you want to say, 2024 has actually been a very good year for gaming. You know, anyone who ever says that gaming's dead and everything, yeah, let them just go back and play their 2K basketball game for the umpteenth billionth time that has not changed since 2005. Just ignore those people, okay? 2024 has been an amazing year for gaming. And we're going to go through all the nominees for this because, again, not only is it a chance to see the games that have come out this year that you may have either forgotten about or not even heard about, it's also a chance for developers to then show you what their next project is coming up, because we are going to be seeing new trailers for 2025. Because if you look at the list of games for 2025 right now, it's not the biggest right now. Obviously, for the most part, you generally don't want to announce things too early, but this is a great opportunity for some trailers and everything. I mean, I personally myself am already thinking that we're going to see some trailers for things like the PC port of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We're probably going to see something maybe from Atlas, maybe whatever their next potential trailer could be. If maybe another team was working on something, we could see something in the lines for any kind of new multiplayer games or anything like that. So there's a lot of stuff that we could potentially see, and it's always really cool to see that stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. But regardless, I'm going to stop saying see a lot of the times, and we're going to go through all of these nominees right now. I'm, of course, joined by the one and only Lemon. What's going on, man?
It's going. I'm just still salty about some of the Game of the Year stuff, but I will...
He's gonna hold his tongue just for the moment until we get to those parts, and then he's just gonna let loose. And I'm gonna let the beast out of his cage. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do here. Okay, so if you guys want to be able to go ahead and vote, by the way, you can head over to thegameawards.com. Just go over the nominees and just simply either click all the categories or just simply start voting, which is what we're gonna do here. And we're gonna start from the bottom. We're gonna start at the categories I think that most people probably don't care about as much. And then we'll eventually finish up, though, with the Game of the Year. Keep in mind, though, that we as voters do, like, our vote counts, I think, for about 10%, which on one hand I get, because obviously then the internet could be the internet, and next thing you know, they could just troll all these awards, and next thing you know, things are winning that probably shouldn't really be winning the awards. But at the same time, some of the people in the voting, like, I guess, booth, I guess you could say, in terms of who exactly is there, it's kind of like, why are they here? I understand gaming is like bigger than movies and music and everything at this particular point in our day and age, but there are definitely a few votes that I'm just like, you do nothing about gaming. You just simply go by whatever's trending online on X or Twitter or whatever. Again, when it comes to the Game Awards, always take it with a grain of salt, because in the end, this is all just our personal opinions. There are definitely been years that I don't agree with whatever the Game of the Year is or certain awards and everything like that, and others I do. But in the end, don't let it get you down too much. As long as your game, though, is at least being celebrated in some way or fashion, that's a good thing. And hey, go out and try some of these games, because there are a lot of games that don't get the recognition that they deserve. 100%. And we'll get into some of that stuff later. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start voting. All right, so we're going with the Dota Team Liquid. That's what we're going to go for. So thank you so much. All right, let's keep voting. Let's go to the next category. I don't know why it says notify me when voting opens for each round. I thought you could vote for everything.
Notified. You can. It's for. I don't know what that's for. To see if you look at the bottom of the few categories, there's voice. I don't know what that. I guess it's like you can. There's like a bracket or something. Maybe I don't know.
Okay. Well, regardless, we're going to go into the next one, which is going to be the best esports athlete. Yeah, because they're clearly running laps around everything, right? So, again, I have absolutely no idea who any of these people are. So I'm sure they're obviously the best of the best in their category. That'd be my guess in terms of any kind of esports thing. So I don't know. Lemon, who are you going to vote for?
All right. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 6. Okay.
Yeah,
let's roll
6
a die.
Yeah.
Roll a die. All right, so it's a D6. All right, it is number one. Number one. So that will be 33. 33 is get my vote.
So who's 33 then?
I don't know. Well, that's number one. It's the first one. The first guy on there's 33. That's his name.
Okay, we're going with 33 then. He gets our vote, people. So
yeah, this makes me feel like I'm out of touch, but
again,
whatever.
we don't do any of this stuff.
I don't do esports.
All right, we're gonna get out of the esports with our final one here, saying the best esports game. We're looking at Counter-Strike 2.
I know games though. I know games. So
yeah, I know. We do know games. We know games, obviously. We don't know the people. Okay, I'm sorry. So Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant. Part of me wants to do Mobile Legends just because of that bang bang for the name.
I do like the name. I do like the name.
Just for the laughs, I'm gonna vote for it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We're gonna go with that. So, all right, let's go into the next one, which is gonna be Content Creator of the Year, and I guarantee you, I've not heard of any of these people. Most likely.
Oh my god, I have never heard of any of these people.
I haven't heard of any of these people. So.
Where's Charlie? Where's Ludwig? Like, I know those people.
Really showing your age there, aren't you, Lemon?
I know. All right, let's roll another die.
All right, roll another dice. Let's see what you got.
All right, it is spot number 5. So that will be one. Oh, there's only 5 people. Okay, so all right, whatever. 5th one, Usada Pecora, which is, I guess, a VTuber.
Okay.
Usada Pecora.
All right, we're going with that person, whoever they are. So,
over there, yeah.
All right, now we can get into actual stuff that we're going to know. So, most anticipated game of the next year. Okay, for me personally, looking at this list right now, it is a toss-up between Metroid Prime 4 and Ghost of Yotei. I'm sorry, Death Stranding, I was never a fan of the first Death Stranding, so I don't think I'm going to like Death Stranding 2. I just wasn't a fan of it, so that's I'm not going to say it's a crap game or anything, just for me personally. GTA, GTA is just kind of a whatever series to me personally. I'm not trying to be that guy. He's like, oh, he doesn't like the popular stuff. It's just like, I never liked GTA.
Hipster.
So, Monster Hunter Wilds, I have tried to like Monster Hunter. I really have.
That was a fun stream. We did stream it, right? Yeah.
We did. And I could not get into it. I just couldn't. I'm sorry. I couldn't.
You were angry.
I was angry. I couldn't do it. So I'm sorry. Okay. So the toss up between Ghost of Yotei. I love Ghost of Tsushima. It's an amazing game. I still go back and play it. So Ghost of Yotei, I'm definitely 100% excited for. Metroid Prime 4, I'm also super excited for, just because I've loved Metroid Prime since the GameCube days. The only thing I'm worried about is I just don't know if it is really going to release in 2025, because we're all assuming that Metroid Prime 4 is going to be, a double release, essentially, right? It's going to release on Switch, and it's also going to release on the Switch 2/Switch Pro. But we don't know when that next console is releasing, because it's supposed to get announced sometime before March of 2025. So I'm going to assume, let's say, for example, either January, February, sometime around there. So is there a reality where it's announced and then it is released by, say, the summer, for example, right? I just don't know if it is. Lemon,
but that's not what it's saying. It's most anticipated game, not most anticipated game of next year. So
I know, but it generally is like hinting at that. Look, all these are going to come out next year. Do they get pushed back? Absolutely, sure. So I think for me,
which game are you more pumped about, regardless of when it's releasing?
Metroid Prime 4. That's just the case. So I'm going with Metroid Prime 4.
I already voted for that.
Okay, so there we go.
Because I've been waiting for this game for a while, even though I still haven't played 3 yet.
Yeah, and the fact that they went back and they gave it to retro, I have some hopes. So okay, so Metroid Prime 4. Let's go on to the next one, which is the best adaptation. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen any of these. So
okay, I have watched one of them. I watched Fallout and I really enjoyed it, so I'm probably gonna vote for that. I don't give a shit about Sonic. Arcana here's really good. I really want to watch that. I love Like a Dragon. Still watch that yet. I think it might be finished now though, so I think I might watch it. I like to watch series after they're finished. So I think I'll go back and watch that. But I think I'm gonna vote for Fallout because it had no right to be as good as it was. It was a fun show. I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I've heard the good things are from Arcane and Fallout. I've heard those are the 3. Like a Dragon, I heard was not the greatest. Knuckles, I heard was average, and Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, I heard was just okay. So, Whatever one you go with, I'm going to go with that one. This is perfect timing for Bobby, because we've actually got, aside from most anticipated game, we got through all the stuff that we honestly just don't know. Like best esports team, best esports game, content creator of the year. Like we just don't know any of these guys / things. So we're just like, okay, we're done. So, but most anticipated game, Bobby, I did want to get your quick personal take on it. Out of those out of those games, which one are you most excited for? Lemon and I personally both went with Metroid Prime 4. What are you most excited for?
What were the options?
So out of most anticipated game, we had Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter's Wild.
It's a toss up between Metroid and Ghost.
Yeah, that was the way it was for us. But the more we looked at it, we're just like, oh man, Metroid Prime, especially from back in the GameCube days, like we've been fans of those games since then. So
that's true. That might win. Like, cause I don't give a fuck about GTA. Like,
I don't care either.
GTA since Vice City.
I'll buy it, but
I'll buy it when it's like $10 in like 6 years. You know, like after they support it.
I can wait.
I've had GTA for like 7 years. I got it for $15. I've never played it.
Hey guys, I know hot take right here. It's probably gonna be very similar to GTA 5. I know, hot take right there. Hot take. I know.
Well, 5 was really good though.
No, I'm not saying 5 was bad or anything. I'm just simply saying, look, if like GTA fundamentally, it's been kind of the same thing, just obviously different story and characters and everything, and there's been updates to how cities work and the customization that you can do and everything. But by large and all, like a GTA game is a GTA game.
Yeah, I like Red Dead more than like GTA.
I'm right there with you, dude. Red Dead 1, right there.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
So next is going to be best multiplayer.
Helldivers.
So, out of all of these, we've got Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Now, Lemon and I have needed to play Space Marine. Just unfortunately, I keep pushing it back. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Really cool.
Tekken 8, I've heard nothing but good things, especially if you're a fighting game guy. Helldivers 2 was a lot of fun when it initially launched. I had some very fun moments in that game. Call of Duty, I don't give two shits about. And Mario Party Jamboree, I'm assuming it's just another Mario Party game, which if you have friends, it's great, but it's simply Mario Party. So Bobby,
if you have friends,
I was saying, I think you might be outing yourself on that one, Talon.
If you're someone who has friends, I guess it's okay. I didn't even have to hear the nominees. It was Helldivers. Like, there's no fucking question. Helldivers.
I think I do have to go with Helldivers just because I had a lot of fun when it initially launched and everything. So
and for like 3 months, it was fucking everywhere.
Oh,
it was the only thing people were playing. It was nuts.
It was nuts.
I really didn't like the game, but I loved the lore and the hype around it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was.
It was just dumb.
It was just fun. Yeah.
It was just dumb fun, and it's the same thing people said about Space Marine, where it's just like a 360 game, like that era.
No, it plays exactly like the original Space Marines. Like, it feels good, but it's not like pushing any genre forward. Whereas I think Helldivers kind of did, at least for the zeitgeist of what it created.
Yeah, and Call of Duty is just fucking Call of. Nobody gives a shit. They just people are addicted to.
People give a shit. It's sold well, but the people who
did it though,
I don't know. I'm waiting for those numbers.
I feel like they were talking like it was doing well. So
they say that for everything.
They say that for everything, dude. They said the same thing about Bethesda games, and then like a month later, like it's literally like.
All right.
They said Hi-Fi Rush exceeded expectations, Lemon.
Yep. Then they
shut that bitch. They shut that bitch down like 3 months later. They were like, "Oh, not our expectations."
Yep.
You exceeded someone's expectations, I'm sure.
All right, let's go into the next one, which is going to be best sports/racing game. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't give two craps about any of these games. But F1 24, EA Sports FC 2025 or 25, NBA 2K25. Topspin 2K25 and WWE 2K24. I don't give a shit about any of these games.
I'm going to say EA Sports just because I want the chaos of that franchise continuing to bleed people of their money every single year.
He's got a dark side, folks. He's got a dark side to him.
I used to work for those motherfuckers, and I remember seeing FIFA back in the day going like, God damn, this is fucked up. And that was like early on.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll go with F1 24. I guess I really don't know.
I'll go with wrestling.
Okay.
Why not?
That's shameful, Lemon.
There we go.
Unless it's got the Macho Man, then we can talk.
It might. I mean, it looks like it has a bunch of like legacy people on it.
All right, let's go into the next one, which is going to be the best sim/strategy game. So we've got Age of Mythology Retold. We got Frostpunk 2. We've got Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord.
All right, so I've only played one of these, and that's Unicorn Overlord, and it's really fucking good. So
okay, I'm going to go with that because I've never played any of these games, so that's the one I'm going to go with then.
Final decision. Locking that.
I'm going to say Manor Lords because that shit blew up.
Fair, very fair. I don't think anyone can.
It got huge out of nowhere. I'd never even heard of it, and people were like, "This is one of the most sold games on Steam in the last year." I was like, "What the fuck?" Okay,
there we go. All right, let's go into the next one, which is best family game. I mean, just looking at this, Astro Bot.
Astro, yeah.
But let's quickly go through. We got Astro Bot, we got Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. Which last I checked, you loved The Plucky Squire, didn't you, Bobby?
I did, but I love The Plucky Squire, and Talon, you know me. There is very, very rare instance where I will say something is better than Zelda, but Astro Bot is better than Zelda.
Yep. So Astro Bot's my clear one right there.
That Zelda, right?
That's Zelda.
Okay, good. I was going to say because that was that. I feel like that Zelda should have been better. It should have been better.
No, it's a good game. I like it for a top down and them trying to reinforce the freedom. I actually thought it was really, really great. But Astro Bot is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think it was a good first attempt. I hope they keep the whole Echoes of Wisdom mechanic for another game. I think there's a lot they could do with it. I think there's a lot of room for improvement.
All right, so we got Astro Bot for the family one. Let's continue on to the next one. So next one we've got best fighting game. Okay, so we've got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We got Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, which I have actually heard is a very good game. I mean, it's made by Arc System, so no shocker there. We got Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, which is like, was it like 7 or 8 games in one? So we got Multiverses, and then we've got Tekken 8. Between these, I'm split between Tekken 8 and Grand Blue. I've actually played Grand Blue. I've not played Tekken 8, but I've seen the hype around Tekken 8. Tekken 8 actually has a huge tournament-based fighting scene here in Japan. So I see it all over the place at arcades as I pass by. So I know how good it is. I've seen it. It's really fun to watch. I don't know if I'd actually play it. / I probably wouldn't be that good at it, but I love watching it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, most fighting games I've definitely looked at and been like, I probably would be crap at it. And I don't know if I want to get my ass beat down 10 billion times, but I love watching it. And the Grand Blue I've actually played, and it was a lot of fun. So between these two, which one has the realistic expectations of winning? Like, I really want I would love Grand Blue to come out and win, but I know Tekken 8 is also really popular.
I think Tekken 8's going to win.
I think Tekken 8 wins too, but I'm personally going to go with Grand Blue. I'm going to go with Grand Blue.
And of these, I think it probably deserves to win. I mean, again, I've never played Grand Blue, but of those two, those are the only two that really should probably win. I mean,
easily. I don't think Sparking Zero is going to win. I don't think Multiverse is going to win, because Multiverse is basically all but flopped at this point. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Grand Blue on that particular one. So, to be fair, I'm not trying to be biased. I love Sparking Zero, but I think Tekken is better in every way for the competitive side. Well, that's the thing. I think when it comes to best fighting games, right, it's not just simply like, which one did you have nostalgia for, or which one was just fun to play for a couple of hours or something like that. It's a combination of everything. Is it fun to play? How is it when you simply jump online? How is it maybe potentially in a tournament scene? Because, again, most fighting games do go into a particular tournament scene, especially if you've had Evo in the past and everything. So I definitely think I think Tekken 8 will most likely win, but I would like to see Grand Blue get a vote. I think it would. So, plus, the music is awesome in Grand Blue. But then again, Arc System Works has never disappointed when it comes to music. The combination of their rock and metal music, it's peak all the time. I absolutely love it. So, but yeah, definitely going to go with that one right there. So, all right, moving on to the next category. Let's go into, probably the most stacked category of this entire thing besides Game of the Year, Best RPG. You guys have heard me say it here multiple times. 2024 is the year of the RPG. Anyone, who has ever said there are no games or that games are too short or anything, right here, your list, play one of these. There is something here for all of you. So let's look at what we got here. Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. I think the only thing I would personally change in this list if I could, I would take out Elden Ring and I'd put in the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. Is what I would put in there.
I think that missed the cutoff.
It did. I think it did, unfortunately, yes. That is the only downside. So, unless I'm wrong, because it came out on the 16th of the month of November, and the cutoff was like the 12th or the 13th, I think. So it missed it by like 2 or 3 days. I guess it was the same thing, I think, with Stalker 2. Stalker 2 missed it by like 2 or 3 days or something like that. So,
I don't think from the review Stalker 2 would have gotten any nominations.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where unfortunately it's based on like all the technical issues and everything like that.
Yeah, it's rough, I guess.
But at the same time, you do have to kind of understand that where they are stationed in making the game and what's going on around the world.
Oh, no, I don't blame it. It's just, I don't think it would have got nominated. I think at best it would be a Cyberpunk situation where it's going to be really good in a year.
Right, yeah, exactly. So... for me personally, it has to go to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. No shocker if you've been here on this channel at all. Metaphor is a very close second runner-up. I've actually had a lot of fun with Metaphor. I just unfortunately haven't finished it yet because it's just so long. It's such a long game.
I still haven't finished it yet. I will say, Elden Ring, so ignoring the whole DLC thing, probably in terms of quality, is probably the best one of it, but I'm not going to vote for DLC. I think it's kind of cheating.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be there.
I figured you go for Like a Dragon, but because you loved it.
I loved Like a Dragon. It's a hardcore number 2, but I gotta go Metaphor.
Okay,
Like
that's
that
perfectly
formula
fair.
works so well. I'm loving every second of this game.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those things for me. Whereas if I could get a second vote, like kind of like a runner-up type of vote in all of these, Metaphor is my easy runner-up. Like it's no question whatsoever.
It also depends on your opinion on RPGs, though. Metaphor is a hardcore RPG. Final Fantasy is really not. As much as it might be blasphemous to say, it has a very, very clear action adventure.
Oh no! I mean, we talked about this, I believe, last stream when it came to Final Fantasy. Yeah, no, I absolutely 100% agree. There are still RPG elements in it, of course, but
sure. But it depends on your opinion on RPGs,
right?
Really, if you like the traditional,
you go more traditional. I think because you could say the same thing about like Dragon Dogma 2. Right, Dragon's Dogma 2 is very action oriented.
Same with Elden Ring.
Exactly,
I mean, it's definitely
exactly. So, but regardless, though, I don't think it's a hot take or anything when I say like RPGs for 2024 stacked year, just stacked. Can't be.
I would say all 5, but I think Dragon's Dogma is probably the weakest of them. But I mean, all 5 of them are pretty solid games.
Yeah. Plus, not to mention, you can probably find a good chunk of these on sale right now. So.
Yeah. Probably the most expensive is probably still gonna be Final Fantasy though, just because it's Square Enix.
not with their PlayStation, not with the PlayStation sale, big sale coming up for winter and everything like that. You can go and buy the twin pack for like, because you get both Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth combined. And so before the game released, it was $70 for 2 games, which is a killer steal right there. You basically get one of them for free.
Crazy, yeah.
It is, yeah. And then after the game released, it jumped up to about $89, I believe, which is still a good deal for 2 games. But if you know what? Let's actually go take a look real quick. So the twin pack right now is on sale. Now keep in mind, this is in yen and everything, but right now, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is 30% off. That's a pretty good deal in my opinion. And the twin pack again, basically 9,994 yen. In a perfect world, it'd be $90. But in reality, with the US dollar right now and everything, especially if you're buying from the States or heck, even parts of Europe right now, that is most likely down to like, I want to say $50, maybe 40. Let me get my conversion calculator out real quick. Hang on. So yen right now, 9994. That's $64 right now for 2 full games of that quality. That is a steal right there. Go buy this game, folks. Like, go buy it. It is 100% worth it. And if you're waiting for the PC release of Rebirth, I guarantee you we're probably going to see it launched or at least get a trailer for it at the Game Awards, because that happened with Remake a few years ago. So yeah, I definitely say 100% go but get it, and it's 100% worth it. All right.
So that's not actually on sale in the US. It's $100 in the US.
It's not. There's no. I thought there's no sale going on right now.
Well, there's supposed to be a sale. I thought maybe it hasn't. I think it's going to start on Friday though. I feel like because
it's Friday here. Started. It's Friday here right now in Japan. Yeah, so
it's probably going to go down in price tomorrow. Then.
Okay, so wait 24 hours, then go buy it.
Yeah,
there we go.
At least if you're in this time zone.
Yeah. I always have to remember that because it's like, well, wait, it is Friday here. That does make sense.
Yeah. So. Still Thursday here.
Yep. All right. So going on to the next one, best action adventure game. Okay. So best action adventure game. So this is for the best action/adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So we've got Astro Bot, we got Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws. Okay, sure. And The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Now, I actually loved Astro Bot. It was really fun, but my vote personally for this, just looking at this, because it needs the recognition it 100% deserves, and I'm so pissed it's not in other categories, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I don't care what anyone says. I know it has Ubisoft's name slapped to it. I know people dunk on Ubisoft regardless. This is a good game. Go play it. It gets my vote right now. Boom. Done. End of discussion.
So I was actually going to say something similar, but not as enthusiastic. So I'm glad you did.
Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. This game is so good. Plus, again,
it's really good.
It's let's take a look. Let's take a look right now. Again, I know it's on the Japanese store. Give it 24 hours and updates for US and all that stuff. So Prince of Persia. Okay, we go type into it. 50%. Oh, got 2,800 yen right now. That's like under $20. Okay, it is worth it. Just go buy this game. It is 100% worth it. And unfortunately, the team has been disbanded to other projects because Ubisoft is stupid. But
how long is this still running for? This PlayStation one?
I think until like December 4th or 5th or something like that. So it's a good couple weeks.
It might be cheaper elsewhere because I think I bought my copy of it full price, but sure. I feel like a month later it was $20 physical.
Yeah,
so
and that's the other thing. Like if you do like a Best Buy Black Friday deal or Amazon, you find something, like get it there if you want to, by all means. Yeah. I'm just saying,
just get the game though. Yeah,
it is worth it. Really good. Just do it. Sorry, I'm not emotional at all or anything. All right, let's go on to the next category because I think that was a pretty easy one for both of us. Best action game. Best action game out of this. Okay, so we've got the best action game is the action game genre focused primarily on combat. I am shocked beyond belief on the doubt of that one. Okay, so we've got Black Myth Wukong. We've got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, whatever. We've got Helldivers 2, we got Stellar Blade, and we got Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. All right, Lemon, I've been taking the lead on a few of these. I want to know what your vote's going to be for this one.
If I played more Warhammer 40k, I might vote for that, but since I really haven't, I can't really say too much other than it's really badass from what little I played. I haven't played Black Myth Wukong. I've stayed away from it because I hear it is kind of jank. And I'll wait for it to go down in price a bit. I'm probably gonna vote Stellar Blade since it's the only game here I really played. I enjoyed it. It really gave a lot of Nier vibes. I really like Nier.
Not to mention it actually has that Nier DLC right now, so.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to see what that DLC. If it's actually more content, maybe I'll check it out. If it's just costumes and stuff, I really don't care.
So from what I understand, they've been doing this for a few updates. There are free costume updates, and then the Nier DLC is obviously the costumes for Nier, but then there's extra stuff added into the Wastelands or something like that. So there's some extra side content from what I understand. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure to what extent. I'll have to look up later on. For me personally, it would definitely be between Black Myth and Stellar Blade. I played a lot of Black Myth, and I played both games. So, but in terms of pure action, I think I'm gonna have to go with Stellar Blade myself. Black Myth is fun, but unfortunately, I think due to the performance, at least on console, I can't speak for a high-end PC or anything like that. It definitely has some jank in terms of some input lag and everything. So. Hopefully that gets fixed eventually. I'm not really sure. But regardless, I enjoyed that game. But Stellar Blade was good right out the bat when it comes to its combat and everything. Because that's what we're voting on, is the action, right? And right from the get-go, it was smooth, it was buttery, everything. So it was good. Not to mention, there was a demo. So if you want to try the game out, go play the demo. So, yeah. But it will kick your butt. I will tell you right now, it will kick your butt if you're not ready for it. So, but yeah, Stellar Blade definitely gets my vote on that one. So... all right, let's go on to the next one, which I don't think either of us really know about, but regardless, we're going to take a look at it. VR games. Yeah, Yeah, for the best game experience, playable and virtual or augmented reality. Okay, so we've got Arizona Sunshine Remake. We got Asgard's Wrath 2. We've got Batman Arkham Shadow, which I know a lot of Batman fans were like, God damn it, went to VR. Metal Hellsinger VR and Metro Awakening. Now, from what I've heard from reviews and gameplay clips and online and everything like that, which I know is not the greatest place to look, I've heard that it basically comes down to Metro Awakening and Batman Arkham Shadow. I've heard both of those.
Arkham Shadow is super good.
Yeah, I've heard
super good. Like better than it has any right to be.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
I'll probably vote for that. I'll vote for that.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to go for Batman 2, if only because, again, from what I've heard, again, I don't have a VR because I don't have the room for it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So I'm going to go with Batman personally for that. So I think pretty simple on that one. Moving on.
Easy peasy.
Okay, probably the one that I'm going to dunk on the most is just best mobile game. Mobile games suck!
Hey man, wait till you see the list. Then you might change your mind.
Okay, well, I know one game that I know everyone's going to be like, not this one. All right, so we've got AFK Journey, we've got Balatro, we've got Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, we've got, am I pronouncing this correctly? Wuthering Waves?
Wuthering Waves.
Weathering Waves. Okay, I don't know why it has a U then, but okay.
No, Wuthering.
Wuthering Waves. Okay. Apparently I can't speak, right? And then Zenless Zone 0. So if you guys know me, especially if you've known me personally, not as the direct team here, but when I did my own YouTube channel and everything, I used to cover mobile games. Well, mostly just one mobile game, but I essentially got so burnt out that I don't do anything mobile related at all. I just don't. It's not something for me anymore. So, however, I am not blind by what Balatro is and how a lot, especially with a lot of the videos recently you're seeing on social media and people talking about in videos on YouTube and everything. I am not blind to that. I understand exactly what it is. But in regards, I still don't care about mobile. So, Lemon, whatever you pick, I'm going to give my vote to it. That's
all right. So I will call this out though.
Okay, good.
Balatro is the odd one out. Balatro is not a mobile game. The rest of them are gacha games for all intents and purposes. Balatro is not. It is a game that was ported to mobile. However, I am voting for Pokemon because I'm having fun with it.
All right, Pokemon gets my vote then. I wouldn't be surprised if Pokemon wins just because, again, it's Pokemon.
Well, it's just fun. And I mean, the rest of them aren't like barn burners either. Like, it's not like, I mean, Balatro is the only one I think, only because people would vote for it just because it's Balatro. Again, it's a game ported to mobile, not the other way around.
Yeah. So, all right, going into best debut indie game. These ones are always fun. I always like seeing these. So we've got Animal Well, we've got Balatro, we've got Manor Lords, we've got Pacific Drive, and we've got the Plucky Squire. All great games in their own right. If you haven't played any of these, definitely go out and give it a shot. A lot of them are very fun. But Lemon, what are you going to vote for? I know you've played a decent amount of these, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I liked Animal Well. I didn't finish it. It's not my kind of game. It's a bit too old school, I guess. Or like, it's very kind of if you like the old school like NES era of there's no hand holding, you will figure stuff out kind of games. Mm-hmm. Play it. This one, I'm so indoctrinated in the modern style of you get 2 hours of tutorials. It tells you exactly how to play. I heard a beep.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh God. Okay, I'm glad you didn't hear what I just said. Then
I heard what you said.
Okay, good. It's not my kind. I love the aesthetic though. I love the aesthetic so much. I actually I just got Balatro in the mail. I got the special edition of it, so I still haven't played Balatro yet. But I'm probably gonna vote for Plucky Squire because that's the only one I've really played through. I liked it. I think it's a bit of a flawed game. I think it could have been better. But I really like the aesthetic. I like what they did. I like the people didn't like the humor. A lot of people are like herp derp. It's just it's like hipster funny humor. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I like the wizard guy.
Well, Lemon, you're a hipster. That's why.
I guess I might be a hipster. I don't know. I might just be a hipster. I might just be a closeted hipster. What kind of type?
So I think for me personally, between these two, I'm going to go with either Animal Well or the Plucky Squire. Bobby, what would you go with if you had to make the votes on this?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going Animal Well. 100%.
Animal Well. Okay.
Yeah, I know what Lemon said. He said it's too old school. Like to me, that's the boon of
it, though.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of shit that I grew up with. Yeah. Like that took me back to being, like 4 or 5, figuring out my way through Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
and just it doesn't hold your hand. You just kind of got to figure shit out, and you just go.
So let's move into the next category, which is going to be best independent game. So we've got a lot of the categories from last time, actually, or at least a couple of them. We've got Animal Well, we got Balatro, we've got I can't even pronounce this one.
The Laser Eyes.
Yeah, that game. We got Neva, and we've got UFO 50. I've actually never heard of UFO 50.
UFO 50 is an interesting game. I really want to play it. It's effectively 50 games from a bunch of kind of indie developers, and all in one. It's a hardcore throwback to like NES kind of games. I just want to get it. It looks like a really interesting game.
Okay. All right, so then what would you vote for then for best? Because it's best independent game. It says for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside of the traditional publisher system.
I mean, I've only played Animal Well. I want to play Neva. It's from the same developers of Grease.
Oh, that, yeah. I definitely need to look into that one. I really want to play that.
It's on my list. Yeah. And Balatro's on my list. And UFO 50 is on my list. I've never heard of Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, but I mean, if it's on, I should check it out now. That's half the fun of these awards is checking out games.
Exactly. Yeah, it's meant to get eyes on the game that you might not have ever seen. So, Bobby, what would you vote for?
I have to go with Animal Well again, although I really want to get Neva. But the thing with Neva is that I want it physical, and that's not going to like March. Yeah, it's like March when that comes out. And Lorelei and the Laser Eyes I've heard is fucking awesome. And same thing with UFO 50. UFO 50 is also, Lemon, I'm glad you brought that up because that's like a throwback to Action 52, if you guys know what that is. So it's $200, but the premise was, hey, you get 52 games. Right. And they all sucked ass, dude. Like they were bad. So it's just wasting $200. Like, and that was enough back then to buy like 2 Nintendos. So that was a real scam.
All right. Well, there we go. So best independent game. All right. Next one, we've got best community supports. This one says recognizing the game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. So we've got
get Helldivers the fuck out of there, first of all, because they were the worst. No offense, like I love the game, but they were the worst with that.
Weren't people like cheering them on at the very beginning, and then afterwards they're like, oh, actually no.
Yeah, keywords the very beginning.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I still maintain these motherfuckers. Look, Helldivers is super fun. Arrowhead, they are a bunch of assholes. They straight up were like, oh, yeah, we don't want to turn on the Sony PSN thing. Like, we don't want to do that. Yeah. So we're just going to not do it because it's causing login issues because we didn't program our game right. Oh, now we waited for months. Oh, blame Sony. Oh, and if you don't like it, just review bomb the game and then make a big deal at Sony about it. And Sony's the fucking 50 Cent, like, what does they fuck me for? Like, they're not the ones who put the game in that position. Like Arrowhead knew that the PSN thing was supposed to go live on the first day. Then they turned it off because they couldn't get their shit right with their code. And then they blamed it on Sony. And then everyone got pissed at Sony. And then they started fucking up with like all of their nerfing and just not listening to the community at all.
Yeah, I've heard the nerfing's been pretty bad. They've been like one of the updates or something like that was focused on like fire-based weapons, and like right before it, they nerfed all the fire weapons. Stuff, and I was just like, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so no offense, they've actually done really good in the last like month or two, but before that they were fucking awful.
So what you're saying is they've been doing this essentially up and down.
I mean, not even. It got to the point where they had lost so many players. They were like, okay, we have to listen to the community.
What is Helldivers at right now? Helldivers.
That's pretty good. It's like 40, which is good. It's better than Destiny, I think.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Helldivers. Yeah, it's at. Players right now, 24. I mean, granted, it's nighttime for most people, so 24,000. 24-hour peak, 28,000. Yeah. So I mean, it's still doing well overall, I would say.
Yeah, that's good for a lot. Like a lot of people think it's gonna have Fortnite numbers or whatever. That's good for their budget.
Fortnite
and everything
is the exception. I've had to say this multiple times. Fortnite's always the exception. Like,
but it's like I say, like, yeah, like look at Helldivers. Okay, like look at the finals. Look at Sea of Thieves. Look at like all these other live service games that aren't Call of Duty or Fortnite. And you're going to see they're sitting at like 20,000. Where's
the finals right now? I do want to see the
finals is
12,000, 15,000.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about what I expected. So, all right. Anyway, so continuing on though with the best community support, we got Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky did just have that giant update, so do keep that in mind.
I have to go No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it's probably No Man's Sky. Even though I really didn't care for the game when it came out, or Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I was saying it's either Final Fantasy 14 or No Man's Sky. I don't play Final Fantasy 14, so I can't speak on it. But I've also heard that Baldur's Gate 3 gave like mod support now and everything. They added in a ton of extra endings. So
you know what that means?
Yeah,
dong everywhere.
I'm gonna go with No Man's Sky. I think I'm gonna go with No Man's. I've seen the update. Damn, it's
their last few updates No Man's Sky, just the last like 2 months have been like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like you guys are absolutely prepping for Light No Fire and you're just letting everybody know it.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's where I'm gonna go with my vote.
Where was that on most anticipated game?
Yeah,
Jeff?
seriously. All right, next one is going to go to best ongoing game. Okay, so as of right now, this states right here, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time.
Elden Ring.
How is it different than the last one? This feels like they're kind of overlapping.
They kind of overarch. Well, I think best community is based on the actual teams that are.
It's based on the
constantly updating the teams. Essentially,
right.
This is just simply the game. This is just the game.
Yeah, this is best like live service or DLC.
Yeah. So we've got Destiny 2, we've got Diablo 4, we've got Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Right off the bat, I just personally want to say Final Fantasy 14 probably. Destiny 2 has gone.
Yeah, but you could say that, but the final shape is like the best thing they've released.
It was, but it's not
7 years.
But it's like, but is it? It's not going off. And see, this is the problem with not having a DLC category, Jeff. Like if this was a DLC category and it said Destiny 2, the final shape, Elden Ring, things like that, I'd be like,
well, it would still lose. It would still lose. Elden Ring, come on. Well,
popularity alone.
Yeah, really, Elden Ring should be in this category.
Yeah,
because Phantom Liberty was last year. So come on, man.
It's so random. But anyway,
there should be a DLC category.
There should
Final
be.
Fantasy,
they did with
maybe kind of want to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like they just had the global or the golden, not golden global awards. They literally just had
Golden Joys.
The Golden Joys, yeah, and they literally have a DLC category. It's just like, how do you not, Jeff? So
because
Jeff Keighley.
I love Jeff, but he's just Jeff. You're basic.
Yep. I think for this personally, I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, same here.
I'm gonna defy all logic here and go Fortnite.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, just in terms of pure technical ability, it does win just because of the amount of shit they keep pumping into that game.
That's my thing, is that like I can't deny the fact that Fortnite puts out more content than any other game or any other two games combined.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's wild.
It is. Yep. All right, let's go to the next one, which is going to be games for impact. So, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Okay. So
I actually like this. I think these are important.
I definitely think they have their place. So,
yeah.
So we got Closer the Distance. We've got Indica, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I think it's Indica, yeah.
Yeah, Indica. Okay. Yeah. Neva. We got Life is Strange Double Exposure. Senua Saga Hellblade 2 and Tales of Zenkara Zao. I think Zao is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Tales of Kenzara Zao.
Zao. Yeah. Okay. So based off for me personally, I actually really liked Tales. Tales was a very fun game. It's a Metroidvania game through and through. The combat's actually pretty fun. Be able to switch between the sun and the light, or the sun and the moon powers. And it's a little short, but I thought it was worth it. I mean, I think it was only like $20 or something like that.
Yeah, it was cheap when it came out.
Yeah. So
and it was day one on PlayStation.
Yeah, it was on PlayStation Plus and everything. So yeah, Tales for me personally, easy win. But what about you guys? What are you going with?
I mean, that's the only one I played. Yeah. I want to play Neva, and I've never actually played Life is Strange. I always meant to play it.
I played that, and I played Hellblade, and let me tell you, Hellblade is the most boring game I played this year. Like, I'm sorry, it looked so good.
It's a tech demo.
It's a tech demo. Like, but what's wild, Lemon, is if you play Alan Wake on a PC, it doesn't look better than Alan Wake.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I think the part of this particular vote, at least, again, not saying that it's
for impact. I know.
Yeah, impact.
But even then,
yeah,
like Hellblade 2 was so muddied with just like I don't know. The story did not really carry like the first one. Like if the story was on caliber with the first one, I would say Hellblade 2 for sure. Mm-hmm. But it just didn't. It just was not even close to the same caliber. Like it was clear they were trying to, I don't know, they were trying to like make it like that, but it just didn't come out that way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like it didn't feel like it was executed well. Like the first one was executed like amazingly, and the first Hellblade is incredible, but Hellblade 2 is just like so many missteps in the storytelling and everything about the game. I've heard Neva's really great. I've actually heard Indica's very great. And Life is Strange is like, you know, infamous for being just a fantastic franchise overall. If you're into those, I still got to go back and start and play all of those because like I've heard they're
ditto. I think I have like a collection of like the first episodes or something. It came out as like an episodic game, right? Like
it was episodic if I remember correctly.
So I like the collection, like the first season or whatever. I still in the shrink wrap. You got to play it.
There we go. All right, so Tails got my vote and Lemon's vote. What are you picking, Bobby?
I would say Tails just because I've played it. I probably would love Neva because Gris was fucking awesome, but I haven't played it, so I can't talk. I can't speak for it. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. All right, going on to the next guy. We are on the final top row here. All right, innovation in accessibility. So recognizing software and/or hardware that is pushing the medium toward adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. We've got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. Lemon, what are you going to go with for this?
I really don't know because I don't think I used any of the accessibility features in any of these games because I'm thinking to myself, I don't remember the accessibility features of Prince of Persia.
It was I think it was like taking the pictures of places that you've been, but you couldn't get past certain spots.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's a cool feature. I thought
it actually is a really cool feature, and I actually missed it in not having it in Tails because Tails came after. So for me personally, I got to go with Prince. Plus, it's a vote for Prince because it deserves more. God damn it. I already went on my tangent though. So Bobby, what are you going to go with? I almost
bought that because it's like $15 right now. I might grab it.
Yes,
I haven't played a single one of these games, so I cannot vote on this. All right. I don't know any of the accessibility like I haven't even heard of the accessibility things for any of these games, so I cannot in good
I'm honestly surprised Dragon Age Veilguard's in there. I put like 20 hours into that game and I'm like, what exactly is accessible about it besides it being basically a soft reboot of the series instead of a continuation? So I don't know. I'm guessing Call of Duty most likely has to do with the audio stuff, even though the last I checked, you had to pay for some of those audio features. So, Diablo 4, I can't speak on, and Star Wars Outlaws, isn't that game getting like majorly overhauled and updated right now? So I don't know how.
Well, I mean, it's accessibility. I mean, it could just be that it has a lot of cool features to make it easier for people who are less able to play the game. They wouldn't be able to play.
That's true. Yeah.
Which I'm all for. Like, I think that's pretty cool. It seems like there's been a lot of that this generation, which I think is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always good to get more people in the gaming and everything. So yeah, but definitely for my vote though, definitely have to go with Prince of Persia.
Guys, I need you to convince me to not buy the Horizon Forbidden West Collector's Edition because it's on sale for $90, and
you already have it on PC though. I thought
Forbidden West. No, I bought it on PlayStation, and I didn't get any special.
What comes in the
you get a Tremor Tusk statue, Lemon.
Oh, it sounds like it's worth it then.
It's so good, and you get a little Aloy figurine, and you get the
statues
soundtrack.
are kind of cool to just have up and look at it like, oh, that game was cool.
Well, because I know you have the room in your. I know you have the room in your little office space there. I'd say go for it, but
I don't have the room. That's the problem.
Well, sell one of those like 5 Switches you have, and you'll make some room.
I already gave one away, Talon. The other 2 are are in important places. One is at my desk and one is at my TV. Okay.
All right.
Judge me.
That's fine.
The other one I gave away because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, so I'll just give it away.
All right. Well, let's go into the next category, which right here is going to be best performance. So these are actors and actresses. So we've got Brianna White from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We've got Hannah Tell from Life is Strange Double Exposure. Oh, God, I'm going to butcher her name. I'm so sorry. Humberly Gonzalez from Star Wars Outlaws.
It's Umberlin.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not the best at pronouncing certain names. I mean, even as my own students, I suck at names. So, Luke Roberts from Silent Hill 2 and Melina Jurgens from
Jurgens.
Oh, Jurgens. Okay, again, super sorry. Not
Nope, you're good.
From Hellblade 2. So, from what I understand, all of their performances are top notch. I mean, granted, this is supposed to be the best performance, so I would expect nothing less. Bobby, who are you going to vote for in this particular one?
Brianna White.
Brianna White. Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Lemon, who are you going to go for?
I'm probably going to go the same, if only because that's the only game on this list I played, and I thought, who did she play?
She played Aerith.
She's Aerith.
Oh, then yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for me. Like,
I'm going to have to go with that.
Melina Jurgens, what she had was fantastic, and she is fantastic. Like, Senua is such a hard character to play, and she does it well. But it's like I said, the whole story did not work in her favor. So it's like she got dealt a shit hand on that, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, that one's easy. Moving on. Next category, best audio design. Okay, so this is not music or anything. This is recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design of it, from what I'm understanding. Because if you go into because the next category after this is best score and music, so the actual music in the game. So this is just the audio design. We've got Astro Bot, Call of Duty, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. What are people thinking?
This is kind of cheating because I haven't played them yet, but it would have to be either Hellblade 2 or Silent Hill 2. Because I've heard amazing things about both the sound design and both of them. I think I might vote for Silent Hill 2 just because I'm more interested in that game. Again, I've not played them, but just from a technical standpoint, that one strikes me as a bit more interesting.
Bobby, how about you? What are you going to go with?
Yeah, with this, like, realistically, I love Astro Bot. Call of Duty is just always the same exact like, no one fucking cares.
It sounds good though.
It sounds good. Yeah, sure, but it's like fucking I'll play Titanfall. Same sounds. Like, exact same.
He's not wrong on that one.
Rebirth, like, I love Rebirth, but fuck, audio design, really?
Audio, I'm a little even as someone who loved Rebirth, audio design, I'm kind of like, really?
Yeah, like I mean, I guess, the sound effects. When it comes to audio design, like, every year, if there's like horror or not horror, but like horror or psychological games, those are the audio.
Those are generally
games.
The best.
And I will say with this, I have to give it to Hellblade because the audio design, as fucking ass as that game was, the audio design is next level.
Yeah, and I've heard the same with the first game too. It's just that's like the gimmick of the. Everyone's like,
that's the whole game.
First game, when I bought Hellblade, the original one, at Best Buy, like, do you have headphones? You need to play this game with headphones. I'm like,
I've heard nothing about that. Yeah.
So I imagine the same for the second one too.
Yeah, that game gets in your fucking head. It's wild. Like, the audio design is immaculate.
Yeah,
it's so expertly done.
I think I have to agree with that. Again, Astro Bot have really good audio and everything, but from what I've heard, again, never played it, but from what I've heard, like, this is where Hellblade like just shines the most. So I'll give it to Hellblade for that particular.
And like Silent Hill 2, I haven't played it, but you could probably say the same thing where because it's a horror, like that's why last year I said fucking Dead Space.
Oh yeah, Dead Space should have been
because Dead Space should have been a shoo-in and it didn't win, which pissed me off.
Who won last year?
I think it was Resident Evil.
No. All right, well, that, I mean,
but you're talking about the sounds of the Ishimura.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that alone
won it. I mean, I think it might be number 2, Resident Evil, but it should have been Dead Space.
All right, so now
music.
Yeah, now we're going into actual music. So the score and the music. So this is for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or the licensed soundtrack. So we have Astro Bot, Final Fantasy VII, Metaphor, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. That's a pretty stacked list right there. I'm not going to lie.
You're talking my fucking language.
Bobby is the music expert here, folks, on the team. So,
in my opinion, it's Rebirth, like without a doubt.
Yeah.
In terms of score and music, it's Rebirth for me.
Yeah.
I played Metaphor the demo, and I think I'm gonna buy it because it's like $50 for Black Friday right now. It's a good deal. But I can't put that music.
Here's the thing for me personally.
Rebirth.
Aside, I haven't played Silent Hill 2. I have heard some of the music though, but all the other games on this list, awesome music. Stellar Blade actually surprisingly has a lot of good sleeper tracks and everything. Metaphor's got some good battle music. Astro Bot just has good fun music essentially. And Final Fantasy VII, no shocker that it has an amazing soundtrack based on a guy who makes the music. Like he's made all Final Fantasy music for the most part, basically. So yeah, God, this is really hard for me. Lemon, go ahead. I need to think about this for a minute.
I mean, it's probably between Metaphor and Final Fantasy. I think Metaphor has more standout tracks, but I think Final Fantasy has more consistently good tracks.
I'd agree with that personally. Yeah, I think.
Well, I just say you got like updated versions of One Winged Angel. You know, like.
I guess the more I think about it,
like maybe it's just because like that's
less
so
impactful though, if only because they've had updated tracks of things like that for ages.
Sure, but I mean I can't. You know,
I'm gonna give the Final Fantasy, but my second runner up would definitely actually probably Stellar Blade, just because it actually has a really good soundtrack in the second half of the game. And unfortunately a lot of people will never hear it just because they probably never got that far. So
I feel bad for Stellar Blade because like I can't play Stellar Blade because like look, I've heard a lot of people go, you Talon, you were like all about it. You're like, oh, it's a very
fun game. The combat's extremely
I was like,
fun.
You know, just make sure you're not playing it with your wife in the room.
Yeah,
she was there. She watched me play 90% of that game. So
it's like Bayonetta.
It just feels like a Gooner game, and it just it's got that reputation that I'm like, it just feels like dirty to want to play it. You know?
Yeah, and the more you unlock costumes, it gets worse and worse. So
and I'm just like I wanted to like because I really love the demo.
Just wait for that PC port.
Oh, that's gonna be the worst, dude. That's gonna like God, there's gonna be so. Never mind. All right,
moving on. Next category: best art direction. Bobby, you had some choice words for people online saying like, I really wish people would understand the difference between graphical performance and art in a game.
Because people don't understand the difference between graphical fidelity and art direction.
Yep.
Like,
I agree with that.
Here's my thing. Elden Ring, I said this the very first time I played Elden Ring, like 2 years ago. I was like, this game's graphics kind of look like shit. And they do. Like, Elden Ring, I had to show someone, like, when I'm talking about graphical fidelity, what I'm talking about. Because I was like, Elden Ring looks like a late PS3 or mid PS4 game. Like, mid lifespan. And someone was like, PS3, really? And I fucking took a thing of Arkham City on PS3, a screenshot that I found of Arkham City running on PS3, and I'm like, Elden Ring graphically, in terms of graphical fidelity, does not look better than this. Sorry. Art direction is fucking 11 out of 10 in that game. I don't know if I've seen many games with better art direction than Elden Ring.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. And I mean, you could even make the argument for something like Metaphor, right? And we've talked about this before. At least Lemon and I have. Where
really good,
like graphically,
it's a PS3 game.
It's a PS3 game.
Yeah,
right.
It's a PS3 game.
Yeah. But art direction.
But the art direction is fantastic.
Art is amazing. Yeah, it's all amazing. Yeah. So, all right.
Neva too has awesome art direction.
Between these, though, we've got to go. So we've got Astro Bot, Black Myth, which I actually agree Black Myth being on here. Again, technical issues aside and all that stuff.
Because it does have great art direction.
It has great art direction. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor, and Neva. Man, that's a hard list. That's a stacked list right there. The more I think about it. Oh man, Lemon, what are you going to go with?
It's Metaphor. I refuse to. As much as I like the art direction of Shadow of the Erd Tree, I'm not going to vote for DLC.
Yeah, I think that's fair
for DLC if it's not for Game of the Year. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
We're going to get there soon enough. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's probably Metaphor. Maybe Neva if I played it. I love the art from the trailers I've seen.
Yeah,
the art looks awesome in that game.
It does. It really does.
I like the aesthetic of Astro Bot. I think it's really cool. But I think Metaphor is going to stay with me longer. So I'm going to go Metaphor.
You know what's funny is I would say on this list, the weakest art direction is Astro Bot,
which
Astro Bot looks awesome. Like technically, it looks awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah, and like things like the physics and stuff look great, but like in terms of art direction, it's the weakest, and that's because the other four are so goddamn strong.
Yeah,
like Astro Bot is not a weak game, but it is the weakest on this list.
Yeah.
Although I will say part of this little category does say animation, and the animation in Astro Bot is very good.
I guess you could say that their animations are incredible.
Yeah, they are. Again, it's a stacked list regardless. But for me personally, it's a toss up between Metaphor and Black Myth of Wukong because we're looking at arts, right? And that's really hard because I really like Metaphor, but Black Myth, especially when you get into stage 4 and 5. Dude, some of the like background art in some of the places that you can't even get to, but you can see in the distance. Oh, it looks absolutely amazing. Oh
yeah, I got to go with Erdtree because like as frustrated as I am with Erdtree's placement in some of these categories, its art direction is
I'm gonna go with Black Myth personally, but you know what? Hey, we all have our different opinions and everything, which is perfectly fine. So.
And that is the thing about those FromSoft games is all of them have ridiculous art direction.
They do. Good art easily all the time. Okay, moving along from that category, let's get into the last 3, which is going to be the best narrative. So this is story, essentially. For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, we've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. All of these had pretty good stories.
The fuck did you say, Talon? What did I just say about Hellblade 2?
Pretty good story, right?
Oh yeah,
no,
totally.
I've been very blunt. Hellblade 2 should not be on best narrative list. I know why it is, because it looks pretty, and so that makes you feel like you're connected to the story. But the story is fucking nonsensical in that game.
Plus, isn't it like super short?
Yes,
not saying that should determine if it's on there or not.
Length of game.
Yeah, that does not determine, right? But I can't vote for Silent Hill 2 either because that story's been told. And you could kind of say that for Rebirth, but there's enough change in there.
Okay, so I do want to say a part of this, just because, again, as someone who follows the game and whose wife loves the Final Fantasy series as well. So Rebirth, it's not just simply a retelling of the 1997 game.
Yes.
It is taking all of the extra books, media, and everything else written by the original maker of the game over the last 20 plus years, and is integrating that into the game, adding sections that used to be completely missable in the original game, and tying the story together tighter and making it more clear on certain things that they just could not do at the time due to technology back in the 90s. So I'm not saying that you need to vote for it. I'm not saying anyone here is watching this, but in terms of the story itself, it is not just simply same thing that you saw back in the 90s. It is actually evolving and improving the story and everything, while sticking to what the original message was and everything that happens. But again, it's adding all that extra stuff in. So anyway, off of that topic though for a second, Lemon, what are you going to go with in terms of best narrative?
Like a Dragon.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I'm not
surprised. But it's surface level. It's not. The narrative's fine, but if you play Persona, if you played a SMT game, you know you're getting into it. It's not breaking new ground there. Like a Dragon is good. It is super good storyline. You will love these characters by the end. I guarantee it. And I can't really. I mean, Final Fantasy, sure. I mean, I liked all the characters in that, but it wasn't Like a Dragon level of just, I really liked the characters by the end of the game. So I'm definitely going Like a Dragon.
Yeah, that's your vote. Bobby, what are you going to go with for your vote?
I'll probably go with Rebirth.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play Like a Dragon, although I might, because again, $25 on sale right now.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
That seems like a solid pickup because, sheesh. Silent Hill, like I said, I've heard it's great remake, but it's just Silent Hill 2. Yeah. Metaphor, I haven't played, but I've heard it's got a great story. I haven't finished Rebirth, but man, what a fucking endearing cast. And I know that has a lot to do with the voice actors, but still, like, just the whole
the voice actors are absolutely amazing on all accounts for that particular game.
The whole narrative, though, just the whole, as it keeps going, just keeps you engrossed in it. And I'm so glad I waited for the pro.
Have you gotten to chapter 9? Have you gotten to chapter 9 yet?
No, I'm at chapter 8.
Okay, chapter 9 is probably one of the best chapters in the entire game. So I won't spoil
I'm like,
anything,
I keep going, and I'm just like, this is so good.
Yep.
Like, but then I get caught up in the side shit, Talon. And that's what I was worried about. Like, fuck, this game's gonna take me 200 hours to finish.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
So just get ready. So all right, moving on to the last two categories: best game direction. All right, so this is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. We've got pretty much the game of the year categories here. So we've got Astro Bot, we got Balatro, we've got Black Myth Wukong, we got Elden Ring, we got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and we got Metaphor.
It is game of the year. This is the game of the year list.
It literally is the game of the year list, just not game of the year. So,
Okay.
But best game direction. So again,
right.
Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Right off the bat, I'm sorry. As much as I love the game, Black Myth Wukong, I don't think is that outstanding in terms of creative vision. But again, the biggest thing, and I've said this multiple times when it comes to Black Myth Wukong, it should be celebrated as a first attempt at a game like this. They did a great job. Now take what you've learned from it and make your next game crazy amazing, essentially. I've said that multiple times.
It's just like Stellar Blade, right? The same thing can be said. Stellar Blade, great first outing.
Great first outing. Now take what you've learned and apply it to the next one. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah, I am going to knock off Wukong because just like Boss Rush, the game does not speak, innovation in game direction and design. Yeah. And I have to take off Erdtree immediately because it is not innovative. It's just more Elden Ring.
It's more Elden Ring. As great as Elden Ring is, it's just
Elden
more
Ring
Elden
is fucking great. It's just more Elden Ring.
Just more Elden Ring.
And it's like I played like 70 hours of Erdtree. Yeah. Like I fucking went and found every boss and every fucking area and every secret. And I enjoyed it, but it is not innovative. It is just more Elden Ring. Yep. And that's, So
we're down. So now Astro Bot's interesting because Astro Bot, if you played Astro Bot's Playroom, like the Astro Bot's just simply more Astro Bot, which is not a bad thing again, but we're looking at game direction in terms of creative vision and innovation in game direction. And if you played Playroom, you've played Astro Bot for the most part. Well, now, they added new things into it, obviously. They added a ton of new levels, speed runs, the whole 9 yards. But it's, it's a platformer, essentially. It's an amazing platform.
Move the genre forward.
Right.
It's a really good game, but it did move the genre forward as far as I'm concerned.
I will agree.
Mario.
I will agree with that.
Mario came out this year, I do not think Astro Bot would be as big as it is.
Oh, no.
I think it's just more if people really want a solid 3D platform. I think it's more just a conversation of we need more 3D platforms in general.
Exactly.
It's a great game. I loved it, but I don't think game direction is where it's going to win at.
Okay, so we're down to Metaphor, Rebirth, and Balatro. Again, I've never played Balatro yet, and Lemon, I know it literally just arrived in the mail for you. Yeah. I've seen gameplay of it. I know it takes the card game genre and does some unique things, but it's poker in the end, the way I personally look at it. I know there's a ton of extra things you can do with it. I've seen the modes, but personally, just for me, I don't think that's quote unquote crazy creative vision or innovation or anything.
I will say of the list though, it's the most innovative of the list of games. I think it actually does something different.
It does. You could easily make that. You can make that argument.
In creative vision, maybe not. But in terms of pure innovation, I think it's probably the most innovative on this list. These are all.
I can see that argument being made. Absolutely, no problem. All right, so between those three, though, right now, I'm going to start putting you guys on the spot. Bobby, which one are you voting for?
It is hard because for me, I'm really torn between Rebirth and Balatro because Balatro is so goddamn unique. I haven't played it, but I've seen it, and I understand. I'm like, I can see how that would get you in terms of game design. That's what takes me. But in terms of game direction, the scope of Rebirth cannot be overlooked.
Yep.
Just how fucking enormous that game is, but how deep into everything they really got.
So what happens when you keep 80 to 90% of the same team and they are actually all on the same wavelength and they actually know exactly what they want to do. Funny, I know. Crazy concept.
Yeah, that's so the only problem is I don't see Balatro win. What's going to happen is Balatro is going to win best indie or best debut indie. Then I think Animal Well will win the other one. Mm-hmm. And then that'll basically be it for Balatro. And I think I have to agree. Like my vote has to go with Rebirth, just for the scope. Like it's so massive, and it's bigger than Shadow of the Erd Tree, right? Which is like everyone's like, oh my god, it's like they made a whole new game. It's like, oh, like Rebirth is fucking like twice that length.
Yeah, but people, for some reason, I've seen a lot of people like just kind of out for it when it comes to Rebirth and everything, because they're like, oh, it's Ubisoft Towers and everything, or there's too much content, or you have to do all this extra side stuff. I'm like, you can skip it all you want.
You can skip that, and like it's there if you do want it.
Yeah. Oh no. Every time I see the argument of you need to do all these mini games in order to progress, I'm like, no, you don't. You literally do not.
Wait, you don't have to do Ubisoft Towers?
No, you don't. No, you don't have to. You don't have to do any. You don't need it.
Maybe it's that compulsion to go to all the towers.
There is one mini game, one that you have to do. But guess what? After you do it for one round of the game, you just go and you forfeit. That's all you have to do.
It's the card thing.
It's the card game. That's all you have to do.
Tournament.
That's all you have to do.
I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. Right. And any of the golden saucer mini games and everything like that, you just
I like the golden saucer.
Yeah, the golden saucer, a good chunk of them are actually good. But if you don't like them, you just skip them. But you die once and you keep going. That's all you do.
Wait, do you still get to see the scene with Red if you skip?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Where he walks out.
Yeah, you do see that.
You still see it.
Yeah.
I was like, please tell me you didn't miss that. Lemon.
No. Oh God, no. That's an awesome. Yeah, that's shown to you regardless. So.
That came out of nowhere. It just came out of absolutely nowhere. I'm like, what is going on?
For you, it was out of nowhere.
Yeah. For me personally, out of these three, got to give it to Rebirth. Just the amount, the scope of the game and everything is crazy, especially if you come from playing Remake, which you probably should play that game first. And then everything that the combat that they built upon, I absolutely loved Remake's combat, but Remake combat, I went back and played it, and there's surprisingly a good amount of stuff that they've changed and improved upon in Rebirth. And I'm like, I can't go back. Yep. I can't. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Spider-Man 2's web slinging and everything from Spider-Man 1. Like, it's just like, God damn, it's actually like better. It just is. So
yeah, you get a little bit of it and you're like, okay, it's changed a little bit. And then you go back and you're like, what the fuck was that?
Exactly. Before? And because Rebirth's combat just continues to expand and upon, especially like the synergy moves and everything. God, I love that addition. And I'm like, Remake, why don't you have this? I know why you don't, but damn it, why don't you have it? So, Lemon, what are you going with for your vote?
Metaphor.
Okay. No,
it's just I just really dig it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like you and I know a couple people who are just diehard, fans of Atlas and everything. Like, it doesn't matter what the game is, they will vote for it absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of one of them at this point.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. So we have the final topic, Game of the Year, which, funny enough, is the exact same list we literally just saw. There.
Deja vu.
We already know exactly what the games are. The topic says, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Now, before we get into our personal picks and everything, Bobby, you had some choice words for a particular game on here. Lemon and I have said our piece already in our video.
Yeah,
but
I have choice words for two games on here.
Two of them. Okay. All right.
So Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree is not a fucking game, Jeff. It's a DLC. And I don't give a fuck if all the outlets want to do it. And it's great. And it's 70 hours long. It's the size of a game. I don't give a fuck. It is a DLC. I cannot play Shadow of the Erd Tree without carrying my happy ass through 70 hours of fucking Elden Ring before I even get to touch it. I have to have Elden Ring purchased, and then I have to purchase Erd Tree, or I have to purchase the Shadow of the Erd Tree bundle. It is a fucking DLC. I didn't see fucking City That Never Sleeps get nominated for Game of the Year, Jeff. Okay? And that DLC kicked ass. Right? Now, my second beef is fucking Wukong. Because, look, I know what's going on here, and I'm going to lay it out real talk. Jeff, we all know that you want a slice of that that market. Because you saw, in America, this shit sold like 800,000 copies. And then in China, it sold like 25 billion copies. And you were like, oh shit, there's a whole market that's never tuned into our fucking show. And so I'm going to make sure Wukong gets on this list so that we get 25 fucking billion people from China watching. And that's why Wukong's on this list. Because from what I've seen, Wukong runs like shit. The game is... It looks pretty. Like it's a UE5 game that looks fantastic.
The art, like we said, the art is actually really good. The art's really good.
Yeah. And even the graphics are pretty good. However, it runs like shit, and it's like a boss rush, and then you kind of like go like a little traversal section, and there's some enemies in, and then it's a boss, and then this is like little traversal section, kill like 10, 15 enemies, and then there's a boss. And it's like, cool, awesome. That goes on for like 12 to 15 hours, and then the game's over.
I'd say closer to 25 or 30, but yeah. No.
Okay, that makes it worse, Talon.
I have to lay out the facts as someone who actually played the full game.
I appreciate you, but those two should not be on this fucking list, in my opinion.
Cross those off right there.
Yeah, like, sorry. Those two games, like, one is a fucking DLC, and I love that everyone's like, Jeff, it's a fucking DLC. It's a DLC. It's like that's
someone was getting ratioed on Twitter. Who was it? Greg, I think, like from Somewhat Funny or something like that.
I actually like Greg. I think Greg's all right, and he has some, sometimes I'll have some shitty takes, but that was by far the shittiest take he's ever had.
Yeah.
It's a DLC. It's a game experience. So it's like, bitch, where was fucking Phantom Liberty last year? Yeah. That transformed all of Cyberpunk, and you could go right into it. You could go like, hey, I just want to start a Phantom Liberty. I don't want to play fucking Cyberpunk. I just want to start. They might as well have sold that as a standalone. And then it would have been a game instead of a DLC for Game of the Year, right? So, like, I don't know, that drives me nuts. And then Black Myth is what, like, it's like an 81 or an 80 on PC, and then on PlayStation it's like a 75 because it runs like shit. I don't
know. Metacritic scores I don't give two craps about because.
But that's the thing, is that, like, everyone can say that. But in terms of how this has always worked, is that if you have a high Metacritic score, you're going to be nominated for Game of the Year. Not if you have a fucking 80, you get nominated for Game of the Year. Because again, if that's the case, where's Helldivers? Like,
where was Starfield?
Because Helldivers has like an 82. Where was Starfield? Although, to be fair, Ghost of Tsushima got nominated, I guess, but that was a slow year. except for The Last of Us 2, which is one of the greatest games ever made.
All right, moving on from your fanfic just obsession with that game.
He's playing the music.
No, I finally played Ghost Talon, and it was good. It was very good. I think it got a lower score than it deserved. I would give it an 86, 87.
Right. That's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask.
Yeah. No, real talk. All
right. Anyway, okay. So we cut out Elden Ring. We cut out Black Myth. At least Bobby is. I personally am too. Lemon, I'm assuming the same.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So out of the 4 games here for Game of the Year, the best games of this year, 2024, Astro Bot, Balatro, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasized. I don't know why I keep saying Metro. I think it's because of that VR game I saw. But regardless, Metaphor. Out of those 4 games, now turn it over to Lemon to start us off. Lemon, what is your vote? Take us through all of your thought process. What are your raw emotions? Everything. Go.
From technical standpoint, it'd probably have to go to Final Fantasy. But overall, I still think I'm going to Metaphor, even though it is a PS3 game masquerading as a PS5 game. As a complete package, I'm really digging it. I mean, I like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's really solid. I really dig it, but not as much as Metaphor. I think Astro Bot's really solid, but again, if Mario came out this year, I think it would be probably wouldn't have, got the hype it did, and I haven't played Balatro yet. So I'm going Metaphor. I really, really dig it.
Okay. Bobby, what are you going to vote for?
I actually have to say the same thing as Lemon. From a technical standpoint, Rebirth is probably the most deserving from a technical standpoint. But I have to say Astro because of how goddamn accessible it is. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just a 3D platformer one of the most classic games of the modern era, right? Going back to like Mario 64 and basically every other Mario, right? But like Crash Bandicoot, like all that stuff that a lot of us grew up with, that kids can jump into really easily, that people my age can just play. Like I played that game. I platinumed that game. It took me like 15 or 20 hours. It wasn't long, but man, did I smile every fucking second. Like there was not a second that I did not just have a big ass smile on my face for Astro Bot. And that is to me what makes a game of the year, is either that it blows you away from an emotional standpoint, right? Which is why I always will say The Last of Us 2 deserved that game of the year, because that game shoots you in the fucking kneecap with your emotion
at the beginning.
Yes.
Spoilers.
Yeah, it's 4 years old. Get over it. Unless you haven't watched the show season 2 yet. Otherwise, disregard. Astro Bot for me, that's going to be my game of the year, just because it was just so much fun. Like Final Fantasy is great, but there's times like you're doing a challenge, you're like, oh fuck me, I got to do this challenge, I got to do this, right? Like, because I'm a completionist, so I'm going to do it. But like the rest of it, I love. But when it's like those fucking VR challenges and stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, let me just get through this, right? And I'm sure Metaphor has that near the end game too. I did not feel that for a second with Astro Bot, and I think for me, that's what seals it.
No, I will absolutely 100% agree in terms of Astro Bot, in terms of just the fun and the smile across my face. I mean, I don't think I've ever finished a game 100% faster than Astro Bot, and that's not a knock against it, because I couldn't put the controller down.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I just kept playing. Like it came the week it came out, whatever, I can't remember exactly what day it is, but I happened to have a couple of days off right after it came out. Going into the weekend. And I remember sitting on my couch, and my wife actually loved playing this game as well. She made her own account and everything. We kept switching back and forth between our own accounts. And then she's like, I need to go to bed because I have work. Like, okay, I'll be in like an hour or something like that. The first lie I've told in our marriage. I kept playing that game until 6 a.m. when she woke up.
I don't think that's a lie as much as that is an unintentional.
I know. It's not like, you get what I'm saying though. Like, I just, like, all of a sudden she wakes up and she comes in, she's like, you never came to bed. And I'm like, oh shit.
So, Tyler's just like bags under his eyes.
Oh, I did. She said, you still have bags in your eyes.
His hair had started growing back in.
It got messy.
Ouch.
It got messy. Starts looking like mine, just fucked up. Like.
So no, Astro Bot was definitely an experience. Absolutely loved Astro Bot. But for me personally, and Metaphor is an absolutely great game. I just haven't finished it yet just because it's so damn long. But in terms of everything from emotion to the experience to the story, the combat, characters, you name it, I have to give it to Final Fantasy. And yes, maybe I'm a little biased because I was actually able to sit down in the month of March and play through the entire game, because we were literally covering it on the channel and everything. Like, I no-lifed that game. I just could not stop. And I don't care what anyone says on the internet about Ubisoft Towers and, all this side content and everything. We have already stated here multiple times, you do not have to do like half of the stuff in that game. You just don't. You can continue on. And by the way, it's an RPG, so you still need to level up though, just saying. But regardless, I got sucked into it, whether it was exploring the areas, whether it was going for the summon totems, whether it was climbing a tower to then see the rest of the map and trying to get around and collect everything I possibly can. That's the kind of gamer I am. But the story and the extra stuff that was added in from all of the books and movies and everything and sideshows that have been made over the last 20 plus years just made this experience even better, because half of it I did know and half of it I was like, holy shit, they actually added that. And absolutely love the performances from both the English cast and the Japanese cast. The only nick against the game I have to say is some of the translations in terms of going from Japanese to English, but I've gone into way too much about that already. Overall, it has to go to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for me personally.
Yeah.
What about the Ubisoft Towers?
Huh?
What about the Ubisoft Towers?
Also,
towers, I climbed them real quick and I left. It took 2 seconds.
Anyone who's talking about a JRPG like having too much shit in it is obviously
you've never played an RPG.
No, normie.
I'm gonna say right now, you've never played an RPG.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing Dragon Quest 3 right now, and I'm like, there's a lot of shit in this game from 1989.
Yep.
Like, god damn. Like, and it's just JRPG. That's how they're made. They have a lot of shit in them. And you can do it.
Metaphor is a huge game.
Like, yeah, Metaphor is like a 200-hour game from what I've heard.
Something like that. Yeah, and then the whole like we saw it here in our guide videos. So check those out if you haven't already, and you actually pick up Rebirth, because again, Rebirth, it's on sale right now. Go play it. Like I saw a lot of people in the comments of some of those early bosses were like, I can't beat this guy, it's too hard. And come to find out that either A, they're vastly underleveled. Oh, I tried to fight a level 18, 19 boss as like level 10, which is not a good idea. Or they're literally button mashing with Cloud Sword, not switching between your characters, not using your magic, not using your ATB commands. Like,
yeah, that was in Remake, which the thing that took me a little while to learn was, I got to be switching.
Yep, you got to be switching with your characters. You've got to make sure you have certain materia, aka magic, on your characters. You've got to make sure you're using your actual skills to deal damage, getting that stagger bar up, all of that stuff. You've got to learn the complexities of the complexities of the game. This isn't a button masher with Cloud Sword going whack whack whack. If you're looking for that type of game,
Final Fantasy 16 exists.
Yeah, exactly. It does. Yeah.
Which I
love Final Fantasy 16, but he's not lying.
Final Fantasy 16 has got some haters, Ken.
Yep.
But no, I love Final Fantasy 16. I wish it had more
RPG elements to it.
Had an RPG, yeah. Like if I'm using Blizzard on a fire enemy, why is there no bonus damage? That's weird.
Yeah. Or using fire against a fire enemy.
Yeah, like why is that? Like it's just fine using like the Phoenix powers against fire enemy, and it's like, hey, cool. It's like, all right, I guess it works.
So yeah, I definitely that's my personal pick. So, but there we go, everyone. There we go. We have officially gone through every single category for the 2024 nominees. Now, granted, our cast is only 10% of all those votes. So who knows what's going to actually win? I'm sure there's going to be some disappointments. There's going to be some seriously, that one? So, I remember last year when Lemon and I were watching it because we were live streaming it, and it came to the score and music, if I remember correctly, and Final Fantasy 16 was up for nomination because it came out last year. And I'm sitting there going, I was telling Lemon this, I was like, I swear to God, if that does not win, this entire thing is rigged. Because I don't care how much people might complain about potential stories or the lack of RPG elements in Final Fantasy 16, that score was above and beyond the best of that year. I don't care what anyone says.
Alan Wake 2 came out?
No.
No, Final Fantasy 16
Final Fantasy 16 slaps that shit.
No,
down.
Lemon, I love Alan Wake 2. That is one of my favorite games.
Just for the dance sequence. Just for that.
No, that song is the bopper of all time. But score
really
overall, like what's the tune? Is it Absolution? Is that the one, Talon?
Yeah.
That you fight Bahamut?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, holy fuck.
Yep.
That is one of the greatest pieces of music.
Yeah. That score is
never been written in gaming.
Exactly. I mean, heck, just the accept the truth when you finally become Ifrit for the first time, technically, of your own free will, and you accept the truth. Like, damn, that's a good song.
Find the Flame. That is,
God, that's so good.
Yeah, that is one hell of a tune.
That is one hell of a tune, and I don't care what anyone says.